Welcome to the Virtual Reality Fluid Mechanics Lab. Today we're going to explore the pump performance experiment. In this experiment, our goal is to determine the performance characteristics of a centrifugal pump. We will plot the pump head, pump input power, and pump efficiency as a function of the flow rate. The figure will look something like this. In order to generate the figure, we will need to have the data points, but we will not be able to measure the pump head, pump power, and pump efficiency directly. Instead, we will obtain some other parameters that can be measured directly. We will use the equipment setup that is in front of us. For this video, we're only going to use the one pump on the left to demonstrate the VR lab. This pump is connected to a motor, which controls the speed of the pump, and the pump is part of the pipe loop. The working fluid here is water, and we will control the flow rate using this globe valve. On this display panel, we'll be able to read the measured data, which are the pump speed, the torque, the pressure difference across the pump, and the volumetric flow rate. Okay, now let's start. First things first, we need to make sure that all the ball valves are open and closed properly so that the pump is in the correct pipe loop. The control valve fully open. Okay, then we can turn on the pump. You can hear the sound of pump running in the background. Now the pump speed is 1150 RPM and the flow rate is 100%, meaning that the globe valve is now fully open. And we can read the torque, the pressure across the pump, and the actual flow rate. The system will then automatically record the numbers. Next, we will gradually turn the globe valve counterclockwise to close it down a little bit to 85% open. And we will read the number of the torque, the pressure, and the flow rate again. Then we'll continue closing the valve and repeat the process at a flow rate of 70%. 55%. 40%, 25%, until we fully close the valve. Then we're done with recording the data at the speed of 1150 RPM. Now we can turn off the pump and change the pump speed to 1750 RPM and repeat the whole process again. After we collect the data for both speeds, we'll be able to extract the data into Excel, and we will analyze the data on the computer and plot the pump curve using those data. This VR experiment will also provide warning signs when the operations are not correct. For example, if the ball valves are not open or closed properly, the program will prevent me from turning on the pump, such as in this situation. Now, if I'm trying to turn on the pump, it will not allow me to. There's a warning sign popped up saying, valves were not set up properly, please try again. And if I back off a little bit, then I can see that the valves which are not set properly are actually blinking now. As I'm changing the valve position, the blinking stops. Now try to turn on the pump. This time the pump is running properly again. Another example is when I'm trying to change the pump speed while the pump is running. This is giving me a warning sign which says cannot change pump speed while pump is on. Instead, I will need to stop the pump first and then change the motor speed. And This time, the speed is able to be changed to 1150 RPM. To wrap up this experiment, we will close all the ball valves. So this is a simple demonstration of this virtual reality pump performance experiment. It can be used to help students get familiar with the operation procedures before a physical lab, or it can be used for students to perform a virtual experiment. As for now, our group has built 3 fluid mechanics experiments and 1 biology cell culture experiment. We're constantly trying to incorporate more functions into the lab to make it more interactive and more fun. We're also constantly expanding the experiment library to give students more hands-on experience. The VR lab has a truly exciting future in the direction of remote education. It will enable a lot more experiments that are not currently available to many students around the world. It also provides an opportunity to cater to different learning styles and enable equity of education. We're very excited to see what VR can bring to the future of education. We hope you're as inspired as we are. See you again next time in the virtual reality world.